Good morning. Happy 4th of July 2024. It is, it's almost 1 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm not in the Central Time Zone right now, which I I'm either on one side or the other a lot, which is kind of crazy, whether I'm here or whether, um, whether I'm down in Florida. I'm one or the other all the time, and I toggle back between the two and have to get my mind right. What time is Eastern Time and what time Central, and I have to do a little normal addition and subtraction when I'm going from one to the other. But that's enough of that. Um, I'm wanting to talk about what we've got before us, but it being the 4th of July. I wanted to do something. I usually do something about the Revolution, American Revolution, or something like that. But today I just wanted to have fun. I've had a couple of conversations in the last couple of days that people just get way too. I don't even know how to say it. I don't really. I want to say political, but that's not really the right term. They get way too. They get in their own silos, and I'm pretty much talking about whoever get in their own silos and then think things are one way, and then the minute that somebody proposes something easy and middle of the road, they get mad. So I didn't really want to have a great political talk other than to say happy Fourth and happy kicking the colonizers out day, right? I'm kidding for that somewhat, because I do realize that the British Empire brought they weren't, rather than a lot of other European nations, they at least brought some form of democracy and some form of, and it's set in people all around the world. And so while the United States has always been a non-colonial country, I think that we adopted that democracy and made it our own and made it our thing, right? So yeah, no offense to anybody who may be living in those mother islands, right? Just a joke, just a joke. But we're looking at broadsides and boarding parties, so this would predate the revolution, right? This is the golden age of piracy in the mostly in the Caribbean, I guess. That's the cool thing when you get to. Yeah, that's something else now. I'm going to bang on here for a minute. Look, when people use the word for America as a blanket term for the United States, that's a weird term to use. In my living in many other places in the Americas, um, the people in South America look at themselves as Americans too. You go get a breakfast, you go whether in Peru or Ecuador or Colombia, desayuno americano, right? Americano, you want that for your breakfast as in contrast, the American breakfast in contrast to the continental breakfast, right? So yeah, and we have a saying in Spanish, America es un continente, no es un país, right? America is a continent, not a país, not a country. And when I say continent, we're pretty much taught in South America that there's 5 continents, not the 7. So I know most English-speaking countries say there's 7 continents, but a lot of us were taught other things. But that's something we say. It's a continent, not a country. And even in Spanish, we don't call Americanos. No, is not what we call, or what they call. Whatever you want to say, what we call our United States citizens. That's estadounidense, right? I've said it before. It's United Statesian, right? So it's 4th of July is really a holiday for the U.S. And not for the Americas per se. I'm sorry. I've had a long week. I'm tired. I've been working a lot, and I'm probably getting off topic, and I apologize. But Hey, it's my prerogative. So what we're looking at today, Broadsides and Boarding Parties, this is a game, came from the Game Master series. This is from 84, I believe, is this particular one. The game dates back to 1982. Larry Harris Jr. of Axis and Allies fame, he did a few other games. He did a few other games in his life. Yeah, besides all the Axis and Allies stuff he's done, and this was one of them. This first came out. I played this, the old version, the Citadel version of this, that didn't have the models and stuff. I believe it had pads of paper we were marking off the boats, or that might have been Wooden Ships, Iron Men, or it might have been both of them. I can't remember. But I did play the Citadel version at one time, and I've played this version, but it's been a long, long time. So let's open it up and take a look. And this is, you know, Milton Bradley trying to do something different. And the one game that got success out of this was certainly Axis and Allies. And this is Broadsides and Boarding Party. Look at there. There's the Edward Teach type of, and it's a pirate and governor of some colony in the Caribbean. Right? So let's. The minute I open this now, I just get a feeling of tightness in my chest. I don't really want to go through this. This is one of the headaches of playing this game. You've got your masts and so on. So you can, oh, man. Just immediately, I don't really want to. There's the masts for the models and stuff, right? Yeah. See, you're going to, here's the model ship. Are we going to put them together? I don't think we'll put them together. That's the top part of the mast. But it's certainly a headache to do, right? And so what you would do, you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna put it all together. And there's you know, it takes a little bit of time, but you got two ships, right? Two wooden ships, which are pretty cool. Look at the decks. The decks are cardboard, but which are pretty cool. I love the idea of this. I don't love the work put in on it. That's the rules. Where's part of setup on this game? That's why the Citadel version plays a lot easier. I have played this version, but man, the minute I open it, I thought, oh, I don't really want to. Let's get out the map, such as there is. There's the cars. That's the heart of the game. It's a strategic game that moves it. Strategic, would it be? Sort of. It's a strategic game. All of it's tactical, but it gives you an overview of a chase game, a race game, whatever you want to call it, and it moves down to a tactical level firefight. Right? That's the. So we'll look at the map, as I am wont to do. Man, everything's so big, it's hard to move stuff out of the way. Let's check out the map. Now that's the. Remove this. That's the. Yeah. Mounted map. Good looking thing, to be honest with you. If I'm gonna be honest, I like it. All right. Yeah. Your ships are gonna be like. You put your ships like here and here as you're running as a because you're going to be a English governor chasing down a pirate, which this is from memory. I haven't played this game in a long time. But it's from memory. Thought it'd be fun to look at this game, but I don't know so much now. It doesn't look so much fun, does it? And it's program. You're gonna program as you're running, and when you get in proximity, and you like Wooden Ships and Iron Man, you're gonna throw your ropes out and you're going to try to broadside them, and you're going to try to board and take over the ship, which that part's cool. That I wouldn't call the meat of the game. I would call the meat of the game the chase. Love that chase. But once they are ran down, you are going to have, and here we got, these are going to be your ships. That's what you're going to be chasing to and fro, right? Those ships right there, that's going to be your ship. And these are going to be your men. Little models just like Axis and Allies, they're going to go on the ship. You're going to put them wherever. Yeah. But that's them. I've got a couple of boxes of them. You got your counters for hit counters and so on. But you got boxes of them. That's your other ship, which is so cool. Those ships are cool. Were these the ones that I came out with one that were one of them? It might have been Six Caesars, or what's that called? The other one. I have that one too. We might look at it sometime. It's man. I was trying to do something easy because, like I said, I've been real busy. So I dug this out. Man, I dug this out and I dropped about 10 games digging it out. So it turned out not as easy as I wanted it to, but it is what it is. There's your cannons and your dice. Those are original dice, I believe. Those are your cannons, which are so cool. The cannons are so cool too. Once you get it set up, it looks kind of cool, but you touch it, things fall over. Can't remember which. I don't think this is. Must have been Conquest of the Empire, where that Conquest of the Empire. I got a copy of that too, and which is kind of a cool game. I thought it was. There's a couple rules you needed to change so the game isn't completely broke. But I thought it was as good as Axis and Allies, where you're competing for conquest of Rome, right? Look at those little ships. Man, this look cool. Man, let's look at some of the rules here. Broadsides and boarding parties sets you and your opponent a sail in the perilous Caribbean Sea during the 17th century, when pirates ruled the Spanish Main. Yeah. Each of you controls the movement and battle action of a ship, either of the dark brown Seahawk with the cutthroat buccaneers, this one, or the light brown Royal Isabella, sailing home to Spain, España, with a hold full of gold bullion. All right. See, that's cool. That's, the war with Spain, right? And afterwards, so people like Edward Teach were given letters of marque to go out and be privateers. And then afterward, they just kept on. This game set up. Look at the game board. Game setup gives you a headache. It's talking about movement. Got some islands there. Very cool. Very cool. Determining which cannons fire. Effects of cannon fire. There's some cool rules. I mean, to be quite honest with you, Larry Harris Jr. did some good games, and it has the same type of almost Axis and Allies combat, right? But you have a little bit more rules. What happens if you get on the deck? How to win the game? A broadsides victory, blast away, set 3 enemy masts so that your opponent isn't able to maneuver and concede the game as a result. Yeah, it's pretty. Sink your opponent's ship by hitting 3 hull sections twice. Pretty cool. Force your enemy to surrender by hitting any combination of masts and hulls, rendering him or her unable to maneuver. Eliminate all enemy cannons, crew members, and finally the captain by cannon fire. Man, that's a lot of work right there. a boarding party's victory. Eliminate the enemy captain in hand-to-hand combat. Very cool, right? I just think it's when you have the models, it makes it overly laborious. But again, cool. It's a cool game. There is your movement. A movement. It's program movement, but it's still very much reminiscent of Wooden Ships and Iron Men. Some of their rules, as I remember. So, yeah. Milton Bradley did some weird rule sets, so I don't even know if there's a sequence of play as such. But this is it. This is Broadsides and Boarding Parties. What's your memories of it? Did you ever play it? Again, I thought pretty much all the Game Master games were pretty cool. I think I have them all. I should go through them. All. We've looked at all kinds of different Axis and Allies things. I got the original. You know, when I say that, I got the original Milton Bradley version of Axis. Now, I do not have the. Was it Nova Games? Is that what it came out on? I played it, but I don't have the original counter and hex and hex counter, cardboard counter Axis and Allies that had nuclear rules, as my friend Dave the Centurion's review would say, destroy the game. And yeah, he's right. It kind of did. They've scrapped that rules for ever since. So it's he's kind of right. So nuclear rules tend to not be fun, especially if you start off, because you're going to start the first turn, you're going to use nukes the minute you can, and it just degenerates into a game kind of like that. And people will be like, well, you're playing ahistorical. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to win. But here it is. This is it. Again, any thoughts on it? Man, like I said, all the mass and stuff, putting all that together, just gives me a headache. As soon as I open it, I see those masks sitting on top. I said, oh, gosh. But there it is, Broadsides and Boarding Parties. Wouldn't mind playing it sometime, but it's going to have to be a day where, I don't know, it'd be a good convention game if somebody ran the game and set it up and do all the work, and I just have fun. That's what I'm looking for right there. So that it would be a good little game. But yeah, it's very war game-ish in the sense that it reminds you of Wooden Ships, Iron Men, and a cross between Axis and Allies. Fun game. But all the Game Master series I thought were real neat. I just think this one didn't do as well as the others. Or, well, Conquest of the Empire, it did get a reprint a few years back. When I say that, it's probably like 2005, so it's many years back now. It's 20 years back now. But it did get a reprint, and that was a good game. Again, with a couple of little problems with rules. Maybe they... But yeah, it is what it is. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a happy 4th. Get out there and don't worry so much about politics. I mean, that's the problem. When we get so political about everything, we can't be honest with ourselves and honest how things really are going and how we're doing. And we all doing a different level, you know. I mean, I did good for myself in life, and I came from a dejected working class background. I mean, we just were, you know. I didn't, you know, we just inner city Southern people, right? And just, and I did kind of good for myself because I made some moves that I should have had, right? And was able to get an education and so on. So, yeah, so I'm not doing bad, but I do know people who are doing bad in life, and they struggle. And so look at the other side. Everybody, look at the other side. Don't get mad at your neighbor because of the way they vote, no matter how they vote. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at people in your situation that's in a similar situation to you. Get mad at the people who run things. Remember, it's nonsense to get mad at. I'll not get mad at my fellow people for how they vote. I might not agree with them, but I won't. Uh, have a great Independence Day, and yeah, that's it. Be good, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.